don't know, Tulsi Gabbard is a congresswoman from Hawaii who was first elected in 2012, who's currently running to be president of the United States of America on the Democrat side. Now, for a long time, since she announced, the right has sort of been pushing her up, and right-wing commentators have been applauding her common sense and her ability to reach across the aisle and her moderation, but most of all, her foreign policy. But the truth is, Tulsi Gabbard is scamming the right. She's not a moderate. She's not somebody who is reaching across the aisle. She's not somebody who's applying a moderate sense of common sense to the world. She's just scamming the right. And if you need first proof of this, she resigned her post as vice chair of the Democrat National Committee in 2016 to endorse Bernie Sanders. This was the first foray of hers into extremist policies. Tulsi Gabbard knows that the only way for her to really gain any steam in the American political process is to have one side almost exclusively talk about her, and that's not going to be the left, but it could be the right, which is why she's been relying on the right so much to get her name out there. There are several standards you have to meet to be in the next Democrat debate. It's more stringent rules the DNC has put out to cut down the number of people in the field. One of them is that you have to have 130,000 individual donors, and I believe you have to prove that 400 of them are from 40 states or something like that. She just reached that quota, and she reached it after she took down Kamala Harris in the most recent Democrat debate. Let me ask you a question. Do you think millions or hundreds of thousands, of Democrats are giving Tulsi money? Do you think that's happening? Because that's not happening. And the reason why we know that's not happening is because the other credential to get into the next Democrat debate is you have to be polling at 2% in 4 national polls in early voting states, Iowa, New Hampshire. She's not doing any of that. So you see, the amount of money she's raising, the donations, are not matching up with her poll numbers. It's disproportionate. And the reason for that is because Republicans, conservatives, Trump supporters want her back on that stage, which is the scam she's running, to try to take down Kamala Harris again or take down another Democrat candidate. So they're donating to her. And right-wing commentators, people who you follow, who I follow, are saying there's no danger in giving Tulsi money because she couldn't possibly win. It's not about winning for Tulsi. It's about staying in as long as possible. And her way of getting enough support in the polls, her way forward with this, is to try to chip off enough Trump supporters by saying that Trump's foreign policy isn't extreme enough. The whole reason I started researching today to find this stuff about Tulsi is I woke up to several messages from young conservatives saying, with all the tension, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to get on the Tulsi wagon because she's more moderate. She's even better at foreign policy than Trump is. That's not true. But she's using the fact that some people on the right are a little disenfranchised by Trump not going more extreme with foreign policy to build up her support. She's scamming us by telling us she's moderate. And if you think I'm wrong, if you think Tulsi Gabbard is a moderate and I'm just a lunatic, let me tell you some things about her. And this all took me 10 minutes to find out. So any conservative commentator who isn't telling you this is just not doing their research. Tulsi Gabbard supports Bernie's Medicare-for-all bill. She co-sponsored a bill to create a government-run healthcare system. Tulsi Gabbard supports Bernie Sanders' legislation to eliminate undergraduate tuition for all colleges and universities. Tulsi Gabbard supports banning assault weapons. And for all those people out there who say Tulsi Gabbard is so brilliant because she understands foreign policy, why would somebody who understands foreign policy try to remove the last-ditch effort we have as American citizens to defend our country, which is what you would do if you get rid of assault weapons? Why would she try to do that? It's like Winston Churchill would say, the people of England in World War II would fight on the streets to defend their country with whatever they had. Why would Tulsi Gabbard, if she's such a genius at foreign policy, seek to eliminate our last stand we would have if there was a foreign invasion, which is what she would be doing by banning assault weapons? It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you're someone who says, well, Tulsi can be talked to about energy, Tulsi's somebody who's going to be more moderate on that, you are wrong. She personally protested the Dakota Access Pipeline. So she's also an activist, just like Alyssa Milano is, who protested the Dakota Access Pipeline. She wants a mandate to end the use of fossil fuels for electricity by 2050. A mandate. Where else did we hear the word mandate? I think it was with healthcare and Barack Obama in that time period. Yeah. So that's where she is on that. And if you're saying, well, maybe she's more of a middle ground in immigration. Maybe Tulsi Gabbard, we can find some middle ground in immigration. She votes with the Republicans more. If that was true, why did she vote against Kate's Law, which is named after Kate Steinle, who was killed? Why did she do that? And why does she not talk about immigration that much? Maybe because she doesn't want the right, the people like you and me, to know that she voted against Kate's Law after saying all this stuff about working across the aisle when Kate's Law had some bipartisan support. Maybe she doesn't want people to know that. Now, if you're somebody who thinks maybe Tulsi's just somebody who will show up every day, maybe she's just somebody who will come in and do the job, that's not true either, because Tulsi is ranked in the top 10 of representatives representatives for the worst voting attendance record. She doesn't even show up to do the job she already has. How scary is that? How terrifying is that? Running as a moderate, isn't a moderate, dropped out of her job after 3 years at the DNC to support Bernie Sanders, and she's not even actually doing the job she already has, which is being a member of Congress for Hawaii. Just in closing, I want everyone to understand something. When you build up a candidate like Tulsi Gabbard, when you tell people on the conservative side that it's okay to donate to her because she's never going to win anyway, what you do is you create a system where she can get these extra donations to stay on that stage, where she can get that extra donation and name brand recognition to be on the stage again and share her ideas and try to splinter off just a tiny bit of Trump support. I have a lot of young people who say, well, after Trump, Tulsi's my favorite choice because they don't want a rhino. So they think Tulsi's the right choice forward. She's not. So if you're a conservative commentator and you've been peddling this whole thing about how Tulsi is a genius, Tulsi's not an extremist, Tulsi's a moderate, you have a moral responsibility to go do the 10 minutes of research I did to find this out and to tell your audience the truth, because Tulsi Gabbard is a Bernie Sanders supporter. She wants to ban assault weapons. She supports Medicare-for-all. She voted against Kate Steinle's law. And if you're someone who abortion is a big deal, she voted against the ban on abortion at 20 weeks. And she voted twice against the Born Alive Abortion Survivor Protection Act. Twice. She's not a moderate. She's not anything other than an extremist and a scam artist. Thanks, guys, and please like and share this and send this live stream to either a conservative commentator who votes Tulsi or a Tulsi supporter, because it's important the American people know the truth about Tulsi before they vote. Thanks, guys.